Good morning everyone, this is As Mohammad Khan and I welcome you in today's segment. In today's segment we will discuss chapter 3 Kingdom Planting. In short we have discussed all the kingdom student, but in this chapter we will discuss in detail about the planting kingdom. Now what is planting kingdom student? It is the group of plants, and these all plants have the eukaryotic and plant cell in them. With this, they also have some important characteristics from which we can differentiate them from other kingdom living organisms. So today we will discuss in detail about those characteristics that the planting kingdom living organism have, or that the plants have. So first characteristic that they have, it is according to their habitat. They have the both type of habitat student, means they are found on land and they are also found in water or on water. That's why we can categorize them terrestrial plant and aquatic plant. And according to that, they have their different morphology, anatomy and physiology. Means according to their habitat, they have all these characteristics. Now what is morphology? Morphology means external appearance. Anatomy means internal structure. Physiology means the different functions that are performed by them. Like this, there is another important characteristic student. It is according to their number of cells. Most of the planting kingdom living organism or the plants are multicellular in nature. That's why we can say that the planting kingdom have multicellularity. Multicellularity means they have more than one cell. But in this there are some exceptions student, like some plants that belongs from the algae have the single cell, like Chara and Volvox. Chara and Volvox have the single cell, means they are unicellular in nature, but most of them are multicellular. Now we come on the size. In size student, planting living organisms have, in general they have large size, means we can observe them or we can see them with the help of our naked eye. But there are some plants have the very small size, or they have the microscopic structure. We can observe them only with the help of microscope or magnifying glass. Like student, there is one microscopic plant is Corella. This Corella have the size around 1.5 to 15 micrometer, and the plant that have the largest size is Eucalyptus student, Eucalyptus, and it has size around 114 meter. So with the help of this you can easily know that the plant that have the largest size is Corella, and the plants that have the smallest size is Corella, and the plants that have the largest size is Eucalyptus, and Eucalyptus size is 115 meter. Next characteristic student, nutrition. All the plants in general have the autotrophic mode of nutrition, means they can make their own food with the help of particular colorful pigment or with the help of particular plastids. They can make their own food, and that process is known as photosynthesis. And they are autotrophic in nature, means they are autotrophic in nature, means they can make their own food. But there are some plants have the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Can you tell me the name of those? Yes, it is Venus flytrap or the insectivorous plants. They take the insects to get the nutrition student. So most of them have the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Only there is one exception, it is insectivorous plant. Next is photosynthesis student. In general all the plants show the photosynthesis, and for the photosynthesis they have the colorful pigment or plastid in them in the form of chloroplast, and that chloroplast have the colorful pigment chlorophyll, and with the help of that they trap the sunlight of the sun and they prepare their food, and that process is known as photosynthesis. So plants show the photosynthesis. All the plants unicellular and multicellular. Now we come on the reserve food. Plants also reserve their food, student. They also reserve their food in the form of starch. Means plants reserve their food in the form of starch, student. And the presence of the starch we can know with the help of which test? With the help of iodine test, student. With the help of iodine test we can know the presence of starch in the plant cell. Now we come on the next, cell wall, student. All the plants have the cell, and their cell is surrounded by a rigid boundary, student, and that rigid boundary is known as cell wall. So they have the cell wall in their cell. With this, another characteristic that they have, vacuole, student. It is vacuole. Plants have the large size vacuole, student. They have the large size vacuole. Now many times there is one question is asked that why do the plants have the large size vacuole? Because they can't prepare their food in the night. So for using the food in the night, they store their food in the large size vacuole. That's why they have the large size vacuole, student. Next is plastid. Plastid. Now we come on the plastid, student. There are the three types of plastid. So students, plants have the three types of plastid: chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast. First is chromoplast, student. It is colorful plastid. Leucoplast is colorless plastid, and chloroplast is green color plastid, student. With the help of the chromoplast, the plants have the different color having flowers and fruits, student. And the leucoplast is found in the different parts of the plant, student, in which the food is stored. Means it helps in the storage of the different substances. And chloroplast help the plant in photosynthesis. So there are the three types of plastids are found in the plants. First is chromoplast, second is leucoplast, third is chloroplast. Now we come on the next, growth. Plants have the growth, student, and they have unlimited growth. Means from birth to death they show their growth. That's why we can say they have the growth, and they show the growth from their vegetative parts, from their vegetative propagation, and for this they have the particular hormone in them, and that hormone is known as auxin hormone, student. And with the help of the auxin hormone, plants show the growth in a particular direction. Next is locomotion, student. If we speak about the locomotion, then in the locomotion, student, plants don't show the locomotion. Means they don't move from one part to another, and they have the fixed habitat. Only their parts show the motion. Means their parts move towards the sunlight or move towards the earth with the help of the different movement. So in the locomotion they don't have the locomotion, student. Now we come on the irritability. Plants do the response, student, like other animals. Like their parts, means their suit, move towards the sunlight, and this is their response towards the sunlight, student. And this movement is known as phototropism or phototropic movement. Like this, their roots move towards the ground, and they show, means their roots show geotropic movement. So they, in the irritability, means the plants part also show the irritability. Some parts shows the independent, means Independent means some movement are independent to growth, student. Like there is one plant that is known as touch me not plant. When we touch the leaves of that plant, and the name of that plant, botanical name is Mimosa pudica, then those plant leaves are contracted, and when they are contracted, then they show the movement, student, and that movement is independent to growth, means it is not related with their growth, student. So they show both type of movement according to the stimulus, growth dependent or growth independent movement. Now we come on the reproduction. Like other living organism, they also continue their life and race, and for this they reproduce their own kind, or they produce their own kind, student. And they show the both type of reproduction, means the plantic kingdom living organisms show both type of reproduction, means sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. For the sexual reproduction, what they have the reproductive part in the form of flower. Means with the help of the flower, they do the reproduction. As which mode of reproduction they do sexual mode of reproduction. And with the help of that reproduction, first they do the pollination, and after the pollination fertilization. After the fertilization there is the development of the embryo, and after the embryo there is germination of seed. So seed are produced with the help of sexual mode of reproduction, student, sexual mode of reproduction. And they also have the asexual mode of reproduction, means in which there is only single parent is involved, student, and they may grow from the vegetative parts, like from their leaves they can grow. That is known as vegetative propagation by leaves, like it is found in bryophyllum. They may grow from their roots, like the tuber plants. They also grow from their stem, like the potato or sugar cane. So they may grow from their part, and that mode of reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. With this, there are other mode of reproduction is also found in them. So we can say that they have the both type of reproduction, sexual as well as asexual mode of reproduction. So you will learn these are important characteristics of the plant and try to write them in your notebook. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.